Welcome to Down and Down, a rabbit hole podcast. Hi, I am Jack.
And I am Buck.
And we have a special guest with us today. We have, I consider her my sister, her sister from another mister, because, right, we have the family resemblance. But this is Beverly.
Well, how you doing?
Where did the Southern Belle accent come from?
Because Beverly is a Southern Belle. You know this shoe.
Oh. All right. And so we had her specifically on this one for the purpose of talking about a person.
I got a bone to pick with you.
You gonna pick my bone?
Has nothing to do with what we're talking about at all.
What?
My name's Buck,
Yeah.
but you got the antlers.
Because I'm a jackalope.
Yeah,
They're not called a buckalopes.
but I'm jealous.
I'm sorry, that's just my family. That's my trait. It's
Yeah.
my family heritage.
It's man.
So there's a bone.
a rabbit
Because
can dream.
antler bones and, it comes from, never mind, picking a bone. Let me introduce what we're talking about. What we're talking about is, sorry.
Yeah, I feel like just there's gonna be a collective sigh
Yeah.
about this topic.
I'm so sorry. I don't want to take this away from you, but let me tell you something. Black trans women are being killed in this country, and CNN, you have erased black trans women for the last time. Let me tell you something. Black trans women are dying. Our lives matter. I'm an extraordinary black trans woman, and I deserve to be here. My black trans sisters that are here, I am tired. I am so tired. I'm just sitting there, and it's not
Ma'am.
just my black trans women,
Ma'am.
it's my black trans brothers too. And I'm
Ma'am.
going to say what I'm going to say.
Blossom C. Brown.
Is any of that like the actual person's real name?
Brown, I believe, yes. I tell you what, we can get into all that when we get into the rabbit hole.
Down and down the rabbit hole. Just how deep does it go? Where it stops, nobody knows. So let's go down the rabbit hole. Down and down the rabbit hole. Down and down the rabbit hole.
All right, so you just asked what about what the real name. Well, you said if any of that is part of the real name. The name that it has chosen to go by is Blossom. I don't know if it's pronounced Chriselle or Trishelle Brown, but the birth name of it was Contrace Brown.
Contrace
Brown.
Okay. Sorry. I'm laughing at that.
I just keep hearing the word it.
That's what I'm laughing at. I'm gonna say she just out of respect, just for myself.
Okay.
But because
Although you was just saying he.
I was. That's really not on purpose. Okay, so
Yeah. So Contrace Brown is trying to become Blossom Chriselle Brown. So there you go. Apparently, at one point, when he was a little boy, he in school told him his name was Brittany.
oh,
And so Blossom says that Blossom has always had an a fascination with the letter B. Who knows?
booty clap.
Booty clap, I guess, for boobs.
It's giving basic.
Well, she does have she has had that surgery, right?
Yes, but not the bottom.
She's had her. What is it called? Top surgery.
Top surgery and bottom surgery. Yeah. Top surgery is what's been had.
Okay, so
I think. I mean, it looks like they got something up there.
Well, Beverly, I don't know about you, but I know for me and Jack, we are not necessarily, we're not trans activists. We generally lean towards male, female.
Correct.
Yeah, correct. We lean towards the accurate. You guys can say what you believe, but I think grown adult, if they want to live as the opposite gender, more power to them.
Correct.
I don't have to, as long as they don't impose that on me, I don't have to acknowledge that they are the gender they identify as. Though I will give respect. For example, I will call you the gender you say you are, but I don't have to believe that. And also, you need to be an adult.
I agree with that.
You need to be an adult.
Right.
Don't be letting minors who don't have fully developed brains make decisions that will potentially ruin their bodies for the rest of their lives. Especially when the science...
Alleged. I'm sorry. That's what that potentially felt like.
Especially when the science shows that most minors who go through a trans period in their life do end up coming out of it. That is the science. That is irrefutable science. Most minors who identify as trans eventually will no longer identify as trans.
Because let's be honest, your brain is not fully developed until you're 25. So you
Right.
probably are not going to make the most sound decisions for yourself when you're talking about changing your body
Sure.
permanently and you're less than 25.
And that could have a lot of ramifications for other things that we don't have that age limit to, but that's not what we're talking about tonight.
It's not. You are correct. So I would agree with you. I mean, if you want to believe that you are a woman when you were born a man, and you're a grown adult, you know what? You do you, boo. You live the life how you want to live it. But I don't think that you need to be forcing other people to succumb to your delusions.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can find it, we'll show it. But there was on Bewitched. You know, I grew up watching Bewitched. It's one of my favorite shows. And they used to have this joke that Darren had an aunt who thought she was a lighthouse, and so she'd stand up on the roof in a storm to beckon the ships in. And you know, they were essentially like, as long as she's not hurting anybody. And that's the same way I see it. If you're not hurting anybody, but don't expect me to look at you and think that you're a lighthouse.
My aunt is a lighthouse and you're a witch.
Don't, you know, and if I've met you and we're respectable, we're amicable, I will respect your pronouns.
Right.
I'm not going to be intentionally against your pronoun, whatever. Mm-hmm. That's fine. I've told you this before. Blair White, to me, looks, for all intents and purposes, she looks female. I refer to her as a female. When I see Buck Angel, not you, Buck. I don't see you as a male. I'm just kidding. Buck Angel looks male to me.
Yeah.
And so it's easy to do that. I'll be honest, when I look at Blossom, I see Blossom as a man in drag.
A big burly man.
Mm-hmm. Is Buck Angel the bald-headed person that used to be a porn star?
It was a porn star, yes.
Okay. I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah. Does not have bottom surgery.
Does not have bottom surgery.
Correct.
Right. Also married to a biological male. Right?
I'm not sure.
I think that's accurate. I could be wrong. I feel like at one point in history I saw her on him on some
him.
Not intentional. On like a reality show that kind of touched on this as a topic before it was really an issue. Like we're talking like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And before it was like something that it was an active dialogue in our culture or whatever. And I want to say that he was like, I feel like it seems like I'm doing it on purpose and I'm not. But He was like,
For the purposes at least of the podcast, we will try to stick to the preferred.
yeah, married to a biological male who kind of looked very androgynous.
Ah,
Yeah. So, but looked like more on the feminine side of androgynous. but a
So-
little goth.
so that nobody else would. So let's actually, I'm not going to get into that yet. I'll get there in just a moment. Let me say this. Blossom rose to fame through Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner had this, what was it? Was it a documentary or something?
Some kind of something. Yeah.
And had Blossom on it, and then brought Blossom to the Ellen DeGeneres show, where Ellen gave her a bunch of money. And that's kind of how her name started to get out there.
What she give her the money for?
I don't know.
Was it for surgery? Like top
I don't
surgery?
know. I don't remember I don't remember. No, it was, I think, I want to think Blossom had probably already had that surgery. It was already trying to appear like a female at that point. So I think maybe, I don't know. I don't know if it was for some cause or something else. I don't know that. I don't know that I watched that whole clip. I saw some clips of Blossom on Ellen.
Nursing school.
That's right.
Ellen gave-
That's right, because Blossom claimed that they were against Blossom because Blossom was a what? Black trans woman.
Nursing school was against
Yeah.
Blossom.
Yeah.
After
I'm sure it had more to do with her attitude than anything else.
after Bruce Jenner became Caitlyn Jenner.
No,
school.
I mean, I guess it was before that. I don't.
Well, if Caitlyn Jenner did a documentary.
No. The money was for her to go to school.
Right. I'm saying was a series of events after Blossom was on Caitlyn Jenner's thing. Like the show, the documentary. Was she on Ellen after that?
Yes.
So we know societally, by the time that Caitlyn Jenner became Caitlyn Jenner, this conversation had already started moving in the direction of people are trying to support trans people. Like trans activism had already become a thing.
Yeah.
So
But Blossom so badly wants to be oppressed.
right.
I mean, that's really just what it is.
No, wait. She wants to so badly be oppressed, but not seem like she wants to be oppressed.
Right. Because Blossom is a powerhouse.
Hello,
Blossom, she, her, hers powerhouse.
Blossom Powerhouse. Lovely to meet you.
Been a race baiter.
But I'm a powerhouse.
Tell me when I've been a race
I'm a
baiter.
powerhouse.
Well, you may be a
Here,
powerhouse.
Understand something.
You may be a
I'm
powerhouse. You may be a powerhouse.
Okay.
When have I been a race
I want you to
baiter?
admit that.
When have I been a
And by the way, it's Blossom C. Brown, so make sure you get it right.
And woke
Pronoun she, her, hers, and
woke
powerhouse.
is a
Right. That Blossom always wants to introduce herself as a power. Here's the things that I've noticed. Okay. First off, she's always talking about moving a needle forward. What this needle is, we don't know.
Because how are we going to move the needle forward?
That's how we move the needle together to get understanding. At least with Kamala Harris, she's willing to move the needle forward.
We don't know if she's trying to sew something, if she's playing a record. We don't know what it is. But there's a needle that keeps trying to be moved forward. Blossom likes to say, I'm a black trans woman.
Let's go. I'm a black trans woman. I lived this experience.
Me as a black trans woman,
Here's the thing about me. As a black trans woman, still ultimately have a privilege that I as a black trans woman would not begin to have.
I will always, as a black trans woman, wake that up.
She raised
I am
it.
a black trans woman.
Blossom.
My experience as a black trans woman is completely different than yours as
Reality.
a white cis man. As a trans woman, especially being a black trans woman,
At the most random times.
At the most random times, yes.
Those times also tend to be the loudest.
Well, that's because
most
Blossom is
irrelevant.
always the loudest.
Oh.
And when
What I mean.
and if she's not saying I'm a black trans woman, it's still going to be somewhere in there about black trans rights or something. Also, if that's not the case, race is going to be thrown out. because you're a colonizer, because you're racist, because you're white.
When the only black person is on set, when the only black person's on
What
set,
does that matter?
I think that we should prioritize the black voice here.
No, I know. If you say that we're all women and we're all equal, then why?
Racist today?
Then why would you being
but that's not fair.
black make you any different?
Yeah.
Oh, it makes me powerful. Wink, wink.
The flags, American flag represents all of us. It's all of us.
It does not. Not if you're black. Not if you're black.
Okay, so with the BS, yes. So that
Not
would
if
be
you're
my
black.
thing. Let's
Not if
cut
you're
that
black,
shit out.
honey.
American flag.
You don't live
I don't
the
like
black
seeing ugly.
experience.
Here you are going into this club and you're shooting up innocent people, right? And you got to live because you're white, clearly. You got to live. Let me write that up. You got to live because you're white, because if it was a person of color or anybody that did that heinous crime, they'll be shot and killed to death.
For a moment.
Cut me off so many times since I've been here.
Okay.
But yet,
Blossom,
Riley, you give
can
the
we have a
white girl-
conversation, please?
You give the white girl all the time to
Can we
talk.
have a conversation,
And
please?
the black girl is having to speak.
Actually, at the moment-
You cannot be racist, Pierce.
Now you can
black
respond.
Women cannot be racist to white women. Are you kidding me?
Sorry?
That makes no sense.
Sorry?
Black women cannot be racist to white women. How am I racist to you? I'm black. I can't be racist to you.
You called me a race
Are you
baiter
kidding
with
me?
no
You're
evidence.
racist to me.
When have I
You
been
can
a
be
race
racist-
baiter?
You can be racist to me.
When have I been-
Talk about this race card or whatnot. The race card is reality. Riley sits with so much privilege as a
So you
white
can
woman that she
interrupt me
go
for the last
around
10
looking
minutes.
like a halfback
So just to be
Tommy
clear,
Lauren.
hang on.
Like Tommy
Just to be clear,
Lauren,
Blossom.
crying white tears about trans
All
women
right, just
playing
can you
in
mute
sports.
Blossom?
I find it ironically, Pierce, that you use African American vernacular as the title of your book to benefit from it. When it's been culturally rooted in the 1930s in the black community.
Further back than that.
You are trying to
Further
profit
back
and
than
benefit
that.
off of black folks.
Yes.
Is
You
dead
gonna
will
have
be
that
on Fox
one-
and Friends.
Let me tell you something. You're going to have that one black MAGA slave that work over there at Fox and Friends kiss your feet and worship you because you have white privilege. But the reality of it is, again, because you are a white person.
Okay, so
Because before we even get
Go
into
on.
gender identity,
but I think
because you are a white person,
okay,
you will always have access that I will never be able to have as a black person.
That's
you
true.
will always be able to get in spaces, much higher, powerful spaces than I would as a black person. Now,
It is so challenging having to deal with the anti-blackness and having to deal with so much trauma that has been generationally put on us.
Because that's the easiest card to pull.
Okay.
Colonizer.
Everything is right-wing propaganda for Blossom.
Your ideology around transgenderism, something that doesn't exist. It just sounds more like conservative propaganda. So I kind of want to know a little bit more about what you're trying to communicate. I don't think they
What
know
did I
how to
say
give
wrong?
the
No,
respect.
well, some of
no, because I think it's right-wing propaganda, to be quite honest with you.
You don't know why we separate
I
the
think
sexes?
what you're saying is conservative propaganda. I think what you're
Propaganda?
saying is conservative propaganda.
Conservative
It's
propaganda?
That you're able
I
to
asked you
play
why we
off of it,
separate.
Pierce.
It doesn't matter what's being said. Well, I think it's right-wing propaganda, or I think it's conservative propaganda. If something, Blossom also has this saying where everything is too low vibrational.
First of all, no disrespect. I don't entertain a mental illness conversation because it's too low vibrational for me.
Okay.
Well, that's too low vibrational for me. So too low vibrational.
Which I take that to mean that it is negative. It's just a negative vibe for her. So she's just not going to address it.
Are we getting into like harmonic frequencies?
Listen, I think that whenever she doesn't have an answer, she doesn't want to answer something, she says it's just too low vibrational, as if it's just negative. I think that's what that means.
Or beneath her. In some
Or
way.
beneath her in some sort. It could mean that she thinks it's stupid, but she also says that she also likes to use, you don't have the mental capacity to understand.
Oh, of her intellectual capacity.
The intellectual.
People like you do not have the intellectual capacity to hold conversations like this. Well, Republicans just don't have the intellectual capacity to have conversations about trans people.
Do you not understand that?
Oh, yes,
I
they
understand
can.
You don't have the intellectual
Oh, yes, they
capacity
can.
to understand that.
Oh, yeah. My question for you, which you
Well,
haven't...
just because
hang on,
Pierce, you
hang
don't
on.
understand, you just don't
Hang
have
on,
the intellectual
Blossom.
capacity,
Blossom.
Pierce. You don't have the intellectual capacity to understand the terminology
sorry,
that I'm using.
Blossom,
Donald Trump rigged that election. Donald Trump does not even have the capacity to even run this country.
Mute Blossom.
Just watched her on talking to Pierce Morgan about that.
Yep. And then after that, it's just a whirlwind of her hurling these insults after insults after insults.
Ooh, I don't even think you understand what you say sometimes. I don't think you even understand what you say, because when we talk about these rape cases of women in the restroom, they're coming from cis men like you. You are confused by the fact that you don't really have any talking points right now. I'm a big believer that the trans experience is very expansive and not narrow-mindedness like what the Republicans think that we are. Because respectfully, are you a trans person?
I'm not.
So you're taking up a space where I believe a trans woman should be here talking to me, to be quite honest, because respectfully, you're taking up a space that should belong to a trans woman, and trans woman erasure is very real because you're participating in it right now.
Flags
You don't
all
know
over
what you're
my
talking
town.
about.
Another.
Move on. Let's move on.
But also,
I see you're still acting stupid, Pierce.
Fine,
You
yeah.
are a product of white supremacy, and you are a colonizer.
Right.
Colonizer. Oh,
Colonizer.
you're a colonizer, baby.
Anything
And
else
we
clear?
are tired of you, colonizer.
just to
we
be-
are disgustingly tired of you, Pierce Morgan. You are a colonizer.
You know what,
Get
Blossom?
over it.
I don't think you can say whatever
I
you
know
want.
I know all about you, Pierce.
Okay, you can think
And I
what you-
know how you're good at race baiting. I know how you're
Oh,
good at
race
being
baiting, yes.
transphobic, and that's why I'm here to face you.
Just to be clear,
face you one-on-one.
wait a minute.
Pierce,
Let's
you
have
are
a conversation.
notorious
Let's have a conversation.
for
Let's talk about the
being
Sharon Osbourne thing. Let me
racist,
tell you what.
allegedly.
You've called me a race baiter.
Allegedly.
Hang on.
Alleged race
Hang on. Well, you can respond when I finish telling you what happened. You can respond when I tell you what happened.
I just want you to know you
Blossom,
are a disgusting
you can respond.
white cis man.
You can respond when I finished.
I need both of y'all mindset to become more expansive.
Right.
I know that's a little hard for
Can you
both
answer
of
my
you.
question?
Because both of you have
Can you
the brains
answer
of a
my
peanut.
question?
I understand that's hard for both of y'all.
Can you answer
Or
my
I should say
question?
A seed.
Yeah, but Blossom,
Girl,
thank you.
shut your butt up, Miss Tommy Lauren looking girl. Go on.
Miss
Go
Tommy
on.
Lauren looking girl. Well, funny enough, I'm about to have Tommy Lauren on the show, actually.
Tommy Lauren reject. Go on over there somewhere.
Ad hominem. That's
you were
all the
saying,
left
Pierce?
has. They have violence
What you
and
want
they
to say,
have
Pierce? Miss Thing, go
slanderous,
on.
petty personal
Go on over there
attacks.
and advocate.
Blossom, you realize you
go
make
on over
every
there to
single
Donald
trans
Trump.
person,
And what I'm doing is facing off with fascists and racist on live air, and I'm okay with that. in my
Fascist,
opinion.
racist, and
transphobe.
And nobody can get a word in edgewise. And then she'll go to another place and talk about how she dominated them. No, you dominated the conversation. Nobody else got to talk.
Because
you didn't
you
win
didn't be
anything.
quiet.
You go, yeah. Go ahead and say what you want to say.
Because you wouldn't be quiet. Blossom as a debater, I feel like she fails mostly because she can't get her point across, because I don't know if it's because she can't articulate herself in a manner that gets her point across without being disrespectful.
Well, she can't
Like she
articulate.
has to talk over people and be aggressive in spaces that are not even meant for that.
Right. But she can't articulate the word testosterone. I have yet to see Blossom say the word testosterone correctly.
There are some cisgender women who have higher level of testosterone.
Some women have higher levels of natural testosterone. There are some cisgender women who produce high levels of testosterone as well.
There are some cis women that have natural higher testosterone levels than trans women.
Oh, wow. But yet it's raging through your body.
She hates it so much.
Yep.
that she can't say it
I'm
right.
not even going to say that word. It don't exist to me.
Comes out in a breast room. One time, Blossom accidentally said breast room.
Well, we'll show the clip.
Yeah.
So here's an issue too that I have is the fact that anytime they're in a debate, anytime whatever you want to call he, she, they, it, whatever Blossom is in a debate and people bring up good points against whatever she's saying, specifically about if there are trans in bathrooms. Okay, let's talk about the trans in bathrooms. That's a big deal where there's on one side they're saying we don't want it to be whatever you're claiming, because even Buck Angel said this. We don't want it to be where if you just self-identify, you can go to whatever bathroom. There's a danger in that. And if we make that the case, then men can just claim to be whatever they are. And her fight back on that, her rebuttal is always, well, trans people are never doing that, and wipes away any record of there ever having been a trans who attacks a woman. But the record shows that there have been.
Many times. Now, I will say on this topic personally, do I think the risk is somebody who truly identifies as trans doing something? Most likely not.
Low. I'm not going to say it's not.
That's why I say most likely.
Well,
most
clarifying.
And not all trans people are attracted to the opposite gender from their gender identity either. They're
Correct.
still attracted. Caitlyn Jenner is still attracted to women, as far as I'm aware. And so that is problematic. However, I think we have seen many cases where somebody is abusing that and saying they're trans so they can indeed go into the bathroom and then take advantage of stuff, take advantage of the situation, or cause harm to somebody in the bathroom. And now I'm not saying that's how it's always been, but that's really my biggest worry. But at the same time, there are people who just say, hey, I'm trans, and then end up doing that. So
correct.
I mean, this is,
but it's not even just that. I've seen where trans people have like shot up, they've been in part of shootings, and she will not admit that was a trans person. Her claim is that they only claimed they wanted to be trans after that, and that they weren't really trans, and that their whole reason for that was to like, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
Wait a minute.
Like most of her points of view.
Yeah.
So the Abundant Life school shooting, she tries to say that.
I can't tell you exactly which ones. I've just seen her in these debates saying they weren't actually trans. They decided after the fact that they were trans so that they could get off from it being. Apparently there was a trans person who went into, I think it was like a gay club or a trans, I don't know what, and started and shot some people. And they weren't really trans because it was a hate crime. But to get off of it being a hate crime, they claimed to be trans. That's
where was her evidence for that?
Her head.
Like, did she try to say that there was any that like when this was? I think you're probably right. I think it was something that she was just creating to take away heat from the fact that there have been connections to trans people in mass shootings.
And I've just realized that she doesn't want there to ever have been a bad person that's trans, because then people can use that. I guess she figures they can use that against her, or they can use that.
Well, I'm sorry.
So she's trying to say they're superhuman or something? Because, baby, humans are bad. It doesn't matter. There are going to be bad people.
Correct. I'm sorry. They sure do. Right. They sure do try to connect mass shooters to white dudes all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
And like, and that is absolutely, there is a correlation there. Most mass shooters are white guys. Yeah. But all we're saying whenever we see trans people in mass shootings is that maybe there is some sort of thing we need to look at. Why are these people feeling like this is the last resort they have? And I think the same question needs to be asked for the white men that do it too.
Right, every situation.
Yeah. And if you're seeing empirical data that shows like, hey, there is a correlation between this demographic, look at it. Why is that happening? But to essentially just deny it because it makes you uncomfortable and you don't want to have to experience vilification.
Excuse me. Let's look at this real quick.
Hi.
Hello.
Blossom. She, her, hers powerhouse.
The Blossom Powerhouse. Lovely to meet you.
Yes. Go ahead. I want to know your ideology around transgenderism, something that doesn't exist. It just sounds more like conservative propaganda. So I kind of want to know a little bit more about what you're trying to communicate.
Okay, I think for all of history everywhere, people have understood the human person to have something to do with his body. So like your body has something to do with who you are. Now there is an alternative view, which is called Gnosticism. It's a view that our bodies don't really have anything to do with who we are, that the body is maybe even evil, and that our true selves have no connection to our bodies. And I see in the transgender ideology a kind of Gnosticism that says that you could look like a man, you could have a man's genetics, you could have a man's genitals, you could have a man's everything. But if you feel on some deep level that you're really a woman, then you are really a woman. And I don't think that's true. And I think that the social effects of that are really bad because it leads to the depriving women of their legitimate rights. In some cases, it leads to rapes, notably in the last few years. And it also leads to women losing their sports competitions and their scholarships. And it's just disordered and false. And it also leads to more people adopting this identity, which leads to very high rates of anxiety, depression, and suicide. So it's bad for everyone, and it's not grounded in reality.
Oh, I don't even think you understand what you say sometimes. I don't think you even understand what you say, because when we talk about these rape cases of women in the restroom, they're coming from cis men like you. So let's be very clear.
No, that's not true. In 2021,
excuse me, do not interrupt a black
well,
trans woman.
I'm just trying to correct you. Well, I would never interrupt a black woman.
No, thank you.
Here's
the thing about me as a black trans woman. I am not a threat to cis women, and I think it is harmful that you are going around here spewing that rhetoric, weaponizing this rhetoric against trans people.
Weaponizing facts.
Transgenderism does not exist. We as trans people exist. We are 1% of the population, and there is a lot of power in the trans identity because you are sitting here spewing something to me that doesn't really exist.
I'm not spewing anything. I'm just stating facts plainly.
I have lived experience. You don't, and you never will. But I do have a question.
I have lived experience.
What if one of your kids came out as trans? How would you react
God forbid.
to that?
I mean, I would obviously love my children, and I would try to do what's best for my children. And the best thing that I could do to be respectful and also to be conducive to their flourishing is to tell them the truth, which is that they're not really girls.
Oh, come on. I can't even imagine your relationship with your children. No shade.
That's great. That's a great relationship.
I just cannot even imagine that.
It's wild.
You can see the body language, how aggressive Blossom is.
In every interview. Every interview. But I'm really trying to understand the fact of how Ellen DeGeneres can gift you $20,000 and you don't go to a local beauty supply store and buy a wig that is more than $29.99.
That don't look like you got it from Party City. Not the Party City wig.
Listen, I think she went down to the local Dr. Gentral, because why? See, all of your wigs in every single one of your interviews look like if somebody was smoking a cigarette near you, you gonna go up in flames with them.
Why is it so flat and like
if you're
shiny?
If you're a trans woman, you should know what a lace front wig is.
Listen, and they're not all that expensive, baby. We can get a good wig. Ellen gave you $20,000 and you didn't take $100 and go get you something with some real human hair.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you,
just synthetic fiber in every color in your wardrobe.
You could get fake ones that look way better than that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
Just add that extra $5 in there. But baby,
listen, ask a cosplayer. Because they can make a fake wig look real.
You can invest in one good wig and look like you look like somebody.
Right. And make sure that's your best wig that you wear.
50 look like they came out the plastic pack at the Party City. Them Halloween clearance wigs.
With it tucked behind the ears like that ain't doing her no favors.
Baby,
listen,
you can't be disrespectful and look like that.
You pick a struggle.
Okay? And you done picked one too many.
I will tell y'all this. So nobody else will have to, sat down and watched that 52, 53, whatever long minute documentary about Blossom. And I didn't know what the heck I was watching. Was
it a positive documentary?
Mm-hmm. It was supposed to, like, it's whenever Blossom talks about theirself, they're like, I'm the what's the name of the thing? Something about becoming Blossom, or One Life to Blossom, I think is the name of it. What a dumb name. But the whole thing, I was like, what is this even about? Well, I finally, when I researched it, I was like, even though I saw these parts, I didn't realize this was the point of it. It's about facial reconstruction. Blossom had facial reconstruction to look more feminine.
Say what?
She had facial construction to look fat.
Look at her chin.
I'm telling.
She got a round face.
We didn't even have to do nothing but reconstruct them brows. Because what is going on? She looks surprised and she ain't doing
nothing about Blossom looks feminine.
No.
I am not.
Especially her size, like her. And I'm not talking about her width.
But she has broad shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
God, like
built like a man.
Sitting right
built like a linebacker.
Sitting beside Michael Knowles. Michael Knowles is dwarfed. And
yeah,
he's not the biggest.
Just like
man
them
in the
ears.
world,
no,
but dwarfed.
Not the ears.
Baby, she don't never need to pull her hair back.
But really, that was what the whole thing was about having this facial reconstruction to look more feminine. And Blossom is apparently happy with this surgery, thinks that it looks more feminine.
I don't know what it looked like before, but baby, I know it can't be no worse than that.
I wonder how many times we could, if we just played a video and started like ringing a gong every time she said intellectual capacity.
Oh my goodness.
How many times would be ringing a gong?
I don't think I would be so irritated with Blossom in her existence if she was actually a respectable person that could hold a conversation, let alone a debate. You call yourself a debater, but you don't ever give anybody else an opportunity to actually respond to the topic at hand.
It's like her.
I sent them both to you.
The woman identity that she chose to go with is the definition of like a nagging wife.
She went with the identity of an angry black woman.
Well, that's a good thing you said that, because she looks like Medea. She looks like a young
She is giving
Medea.
heavy Medea vibes.
She looks like a young Medea, and the fact is, Medea's played by a man that ain't even trying to actually look like a woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's trying to look like a man that's dressed like a woman.
Yeah,
but also their body type is very similar.
Very similar.
Very similar.
I think they both hideous.
Okay. So this
this is not a Blossom roast session, but I mean, it's so easy to do.
When I was a kid, my uncle had a horse named Blossom.
Well, it's accurate.
Yeah.
It just became a trans. It's the same horse.
Okay. So all right. So I like Jubilee. Jubilee's
I do too.
Really cool because it forces people to like actually come and have a discussion. However, this is kind of like by far the negative side of what happens whenever Jubilee does these things. I am not a Michael Knowles fan at all. I think he can be a real big jerk.
Michael Knowles?
Yeah. I've seen plenty of things where he is
but it doesn't take much for you to think somebody's being a jerk.
No, not really. No. Like this is different. I've seen him be belittling. I've seen him.
Have you seen this specific like interaction between them two?
I have seen this one.
He wasn't a jerk.
I'm making a point.
We'll make it.
It is wild how much more exponentially douchey Blossom is than him.
Okay. I've never seen Michael to me come across as being douchey.
I've been watching Michael Knowles for like 15 years.
I have too. So I don't ever think he's really a jerk. He generally jokes a lot and kind of smiles through it. So you know that he's just kind of not taking it seriously.
It's not like he's being aggressively mean. He's just
like Matt Walsh
he mocks quite a lot.
He does, but he's joking. Matt Walsh, I think, can come across a little harsher.
I think he's joking to people who he thinks is funny. I don't think.
Well, isn't that how joking works?
Yeah, but he's making people the butt of the joke, and when he knows it's going to offend them, so that doesn't exclude him from being a jerk just because
it's not necessarily being a jerk. If you don't understand comedy, say that.
Not all jokes are funny to everybody.
Well, correct.
But for me to think that Blossom is like in a whole nother league of being a jerk in this whole conversation, according to how I think he is in previous interactions, not this one. I don't think he's a jerk at all in this episode. It's wild. Like the level of disrespect. All Blossom spits out is disrespect in this. Doesn't let him speak.
True.
Doesn't let him try to argue a point. He'll say something and she'll catch one little thing of that something and then
take it completely
grab onto it and not let him continue to talk.
Well, I have seen interactions, and maybe I can find it for us as well, but I've seen interactions where Blossom physically threatens other people.
Oh,
like multiple times?
I've seen that.
I know I've seen it at least one time. It don't matter. All it takes is one time.
It was
put
the
one right
with
here.
Wasn't it Blair White that she threatened?
Keep it real cute. The bodyguard's outside, but keep it real cute, ma'am.
It's the condescension.
But I feel like that was her way of saying, I'm losing this debate. I cannot articulate a point that can actually hold some weight. So I'm going to come at you physically because I know I'm a big burly man and I can dominate you when it comes to physical combat.
And I mean, it is more of a masculine trait to threaten physical aggression.
It is.
So
because of, well, testosterone, or as Blair, or excuse me, as Blossom would say it, I'm sorry, Blair White, if you ever watched this, that I accidentally just called Blossom Blair. It was only because we just talked about that situation. But as Blossom would call it, testosterone.
So, Beverly, to kind of add to what you were saying earlier, it doesn't matter particularly what kind of activist that she is when it comes to this whole topic in general. She could be advocating for climate change. She could be advocating for her mom to be Pope. I don't know. Like, the fact is, she is the most disrespectful activist I've ever seen.
I concur.
And somehow leverages her race as a reason why she should be listened to, which I don't know why.
I've even seen people say, like, well, what does being black have to do with it? And Blossom's response is, it makes me powerful.
No, it makes her black.
Right.
Like, Beverly, you're black. Do you, does being black make you powerful?
I mean, I am powerful, just because I am, but it's not because I'm black. It's not because
which is the reason why, because you are a powerful. I mean, you are a big personality in a strong black personality. Mm-hmm. You are a powerful black woman, which is why we were like, I'm having Beverly on this one because Blossom always wants to say, I'm a black trans woman. Well, you're a black real woman.
Cis woman.
But the power comes from you being Beverly,
right?
Not you being a woman.
Not right.
You being black.
Right.
And
what Blossom does is she wants to demand respect because of the struggles that she has chosen. You were born black. You chose to be trans, but you demand respect based off of that struggle that you chose. Just because.
Here's the thing too. So Blossom wants to talk about that everybody's body is different and everybody's body is different, but uses that to say that there are some women who are more masculine than men, and there are some women who are stronger than some men. And while that is true, those are the outliers and not the rule.
Norm.
Those are the exceptions and not the rule.
And a lot of those women who have larger builds, like wider, like not like fat builds, but like they're just.
Boy, you stumbling all over yourself to try to be so PC.
I'm not trying. Like broad builds is what I'm trying to say.
Broad as in female, masculine. Meaning.
Shut up. Dames. No, like taller, broader women. They don't all like. I would say the vast majority of them still believe they're women.
Yeah,
like vast majority.
Yeah, but
they don't lean. They don't lean men.
So but that's why that's why it thinks it's okay for us to put, but because Blossom has flat out said that they would be okay with gender neutral Olympics. everybody competing against everyone, which means women would never just win just about anything.
Right. Just outright.
But her point for that was
I still win gymnastics.
And that's why I said almost. That's why I didn't.
Because men's gymnastics and female gymnastics
are vastly different.
They focus on different things.
Yeah. And like there's certain things that women gymnastics can do that men's cannot do. You're right. That's why I didn't make that across the board.
I was having that realization as I said it.
That was specifically why. That was the thought I was having. But the whole point for Blossom is she doesn't care who she steps on as long as she levitates trans people. And so as long as trans can get to be in the Olympics or be in any sport that they want to with the gender that they want to be with, she doesn't care who else has to lose. When it comes to Riley Gaines, she can't stand Riley Gaines because Riley Gaines took a stand against everything that happened. Riley Gaines tied for 5th place with
Leah
Thompson.
Well, you're talking about when Leah Thompson won.
Leah Thompson. Well, at one point they tied.
Oh, okay.
At like 5th, and her whole point was, well, she still got 5th place. She still didn't win. Yeah, but it was
That's because Leah Thompson was bad in the men's.
Was
category.
very bad in the men's. Was in the thousands.
Yeah,
ranked in the thousands.
Placed.
But yet ranked 5th against the women.
Yeah, I saw. So I can't remember if it was a Pierce Morgan interview or whatever, but Blossom started talking about how there's 500,000 athletes in the NCAA, and only 10 of those athletes are trans. But the problem is, what rank do those 10 athletes have in those 500,000?
Right. Well, Blossom also tries to say, well, why does nobody do this against the trans men? Because trans men,
they don't have an advantage. They have a disadvantage.
Exactly. But her whole thing is they don't have an advantage because they've had to be tested and they've had these. They are going through the pills or whatever that change their anatomy or not. That change their.
It changes your current hormones that are running through your body, but it does not change your genetic makeup.
If anything, if we see trans men or women trying to go into male sides of sports, and they do well, we should be impressed.
Right, really. But men typically, natural born men, so whether you are a trans woman or you just, as Blossom would say, a cis, I hate that, man.
Right.
I'm just a man. But typically, our hands are bigger, our hearts are bigger, our lungs have a more capacity for air.
You're stronger.
We're stronger. We are. And it's all because it has to do with our genetic makeup. Testosterone makes that difference.
We're smarter.
Exactly.
That's science.
We're not going to go that far.
I'm just kidding.
But all of those other things are true.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be the hunter, the provider. You need those type of attributes in order to do that.
I mean, and even if you don't, even if you live in a lifestyle that doesn't view it that way, the vast majority of history, men have been looked at as the physically stronger.
Because you are.
Sex. Because we
you
are. It's right. There's no way that you can prove that it's not. There are maybe outliers where some men are Steve Urkels, like that trans woman and that thing. But trans man.
Trans man. And I don't know why, and I know that we're not supposed to use terminology like this anymore, but now all I can think of is from Rocky Horror Picture Show where he sings, "I'm just a sweet transvestite."
Is transvestite considered
I think it's
bad now?
Derogatory in some
But they sure
circles.
do love that show.
But Blossom would say that women are just as strong as men and that you don't know everybody's body and everybody's different, and uses all these outliers as the rule. And to the point even where when they have asked her if she believes that the Paralympics should be in with the regular Olympics, Blossom says yes.
Give me a break.
She a fool.
Give me a break. The Paralympics exist because they know they're disadvantaged.
Exactly.
Just like there's a men's category and a women's category. Let's compare apples and apples and not apples and bananas and oranges and grapes all to one another.
Well, here's the thing. when you have ones like Blossom versus ones like Blair or some of these others, or even Buck, and I know I keep naming them, and it's because they are saying, we know that we were born this way. We know that we have something in our brain that tells us that we want to be what we were not born as. And though we want to be seen as a man or as a woman that we were not born as, we realize that's not what we truly are. Blossom, on the other hand, always wants to say, I am a black trans woman and I am this, and there is no difference, but there is a difference, and you have to be able to look at biology and say it is a difference, because it doesn't matter in 100 years when Blossom is gone and they dig Blossom up, they're not going to be like, oh, we can tell that Blossom was a black trans woman. No, they're going to say this was a man.
That's
Absolutely.
transphobic.
Absolutely, because your pelvis is a man.
Right.
Your pelvis.
I mean, when they look at your bones and your skeleton, they're not going to see black trans women.
Right, because women's and
they're
and
going to
that's
read it on your
that is-
headstone, but that's about it.
And there's some other
still
places
there.
in the bones that you can tell that there's a difference, but the pelvis, you're right, is one of the most telling, because women's pelvises tend to be wider, which causes their knees to kind of turn in more. Men's tend to be kind of narrower in the waist and have a different
True.
stance.
Also, men have denser bones. And that's one of the things.
And you can't tell me at all when Blossom walked up there that anything about that looked like a woman walking up there.
Except for that raggedy wig.
And that was
it. But I just don't feel like you can really call yourself an activist or a debater if you cannot take facts and science, things that can be proven time and time again, and not actually read them and digest them and come up with a argument that supports that. Baby, if you going off of strictly emotion, something that's gonna change in the whim of the wind blowing.
If you sneeze,
come on.
I feel like
you basing it on nothing.
I feel like the term activist should be stripped from you if you resort to personal attacks.
I agree. And here's the thing: you're making everybody under your umbrella, everybody who is agreeing with you, look bad. Everybody that you're supposedly standing for now looks bad. So if you're fighting for black rights or if you're fighting for trans rights, both of those can look bad depending on what you're standing there trying to represent.
Even if she was fighting for women's rights.
Right.
Like, let's be honest, you taking us back a couple decades.
Does she believe that trans women are women?
Yes.
Yes, she does.
Then why she always be saying trans women? I'm a black trans woman instead of I'm a black woman.
Well, because even though
she be lying, we can tell by her cheating.
But I mean, I because Blossom does, I guess, have the realization that she's not a natural born woman. So
Yeah.
she's a trans. She separates it as trans women versus cis women. In her,
You mean woman versus wannabe woman?
Yeah, but I'm using her
language.
Blossom's terminology.
Woman versus make believe.
And who says
Right.
and who says if we don't use that terminology, we're just not up with it. We need to get up with the right terminology.
Why do I need to put cis in front of what I already am?
We know you a cis because you a female. You my sis, you my sister. That's my sister.
I got a ganglion cyst on my wrist.
A cis.
But yeah, I just think that's a little extra work. I'm a cis woman. No, I'm just a woman.
Exactly.
Why I gotta add that extra syllable in there?
You are the one who is different. You are the one who are different. That's why you have trans in front of you.
Trying to go out of the mold.
I think it's interesting that out of the 6,000 years of civilization that we can document, we're only just now realizing that we can, as a global community, that there are multiple different genders.
There are 72 gender identities.
I'm a Zizal.
72.
I'm a
I'm not even gonna get on my belief system, but
Is that real? Is that the real number? 72.
There's 72. Yes, it's an actual number. There's 72 gender identities.
I've heard some people be like, "There's an infinite amount. You can be whatever you wanna be."
And delusional is the top tier of them all.
Okay.
I want to be black. Can I be black?
And really we're not really talking about. So we're not actually really talking about.
I'm a brown bunny.
You are a brown bunny.
I don't know if you got an invitation to the cookout though.
Wait. I'd like to come to the cookout. I like cookouts.
You bring the paper plates and the drinks.
I like seasoning.
Okay.
I realize
like me some seasoning.
But I know that you're a brown bunny.
Raisins, ew. I hate raisins.
I hate
man.
raisins.
Listen, I know that you are a brown bunny and I am technically a yellow jackalope, but
that's just more about what our actual hair color is.
I'm blacker than you are.
Have you seen them lips?
He said, "Yeah." He knows.
I am a Caucasian
from the mountains of Caucasus.
Now, as far as tone goes, we're right there.
As far as what?
Tone, skin tone,
Oh,
melanin.
Yeah.
We got about the same amount.
Yeah.
My melanin deficient brethren.
I know. That's just because the Lord didn't give me none.
It's just a big.
Jack is Beverly's brother of another color.
Indeed.
That's what they call him.
That is what
It's
I
just
am.
a big birthmark.
That's what it is. I'm just albino.
No, you got brown eyes.
I do. I have some traits that would
And some very African American lips.
And that's it.
What'd you say?
Some very African American lips.
Oh, but
he's got the behind also.
No, not so much.
When I listen, compared to my family over here,
Lord.
Mine is concave.
But
I got a handle butt.
While really we're talking mainly about Blossom and not so much the trans. We have to dip into the trans because of that. But that is, you did say, because you said you want to be black, and a lot of people will be like, so if people want to be black, can they consider themselves black?
And just identify as black.
To which, all of a sudden, you can't just choose to be what you want to be then.
Yeah,
according to her.
So you taking their options away. But here you got all of the buffet options on your plate.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I think being transracial could make a lot more sense than actually.
And I don't know if I'm saying her name right. I think it was Amala Ekpunambi who was saying essentially that because Amala is mixed.
Right.
And she was even saying there is at least a scale here where.
Well, I mean, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking so Jill.
But you can only be male or female, but you can be black, white, or any form of mix in there.
But that's not even what I'm saying.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying that she was saying
Jill
at least
is
there's
full-blooded Venezuelan.
My wife, yes.
Raised by white people.
Yes.
So
it made it sound like she was raised by wolves.
From the caves of Caucasus.
No. Raised by wolves. Some people would call us wolves, I guess.
My wife Jill is Venezuelan. She lived the first 5 years of her life in Venezuela, but she was adopted by a white family.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, she probably is more immersed in white culture than she is Venezuelan culture.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that she could identify more with white people than Venezuelan people.
Sure. Although and I see what you're saying, because although she is biologically, racially, she's not.
Right. Ethnically, yeah.
Ethnically, yeah. She's not. But she does, because she was raised by white people.
But there are plenty of white people raised by black people. There are plenty of white people raised by Latino people.
Well, we joked about this. Though I am white, we have at our church, we have two black guys who are like, "You're blacker than I am."
Yeah.
To me, you've heard them tell me that.
Yeah.
And the funny thing
like
is,
greens and cornbread.
I mean, and
I'd be liking some.
And while because they're just not of what you would think of like a black culture,
right?
But you and I can sit here and kiki all day long and just have a good old time and not think anything about it,
right?
But and I don't think of that specifically as just being like black.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of who
you mesh with,
who I am, and who you are, and who we like.
Right.
Like
and
you
we
say,
were also raised in that generation to where, you know, there wasn't a stigma for us to be friends.
And I think that could be. You know what? We're gonna put that on the list. Let's talk about, especially like in the 90s when how races were just. We didn't have to. I don't think we worried as much about it because we were growing up watching them on TV. That's. I want to add that to the list.
One of my favorite TV shows.
Which one?
Family Matters.
Yeah,
I love
that was one of my
Family
favorite TV shows too.
But to that point, I don't understand how people can try to gatekeep. Well, you can't be black if you want to be black, but I can be a woman if I want to be a woman. This is appropriation, but this isn't. You are appropriating. You're appropriating a woman's hair and image. You are not a woman.
And you're trying to take advantage of the rights that women before us have fought for.
And that's fine if you want to believe that. That's fine, but you can't gatekeep other people for what they want to do. And you have this, you get to have, like you said, the whole buffet, and yet want to use that as some hierarchy. Right? Don't interrupt a black woman speaking.
Now,
a black trans woman, excuse me.
Honest question, Beverly. Is that a ridiculous premise? Like saying,
you mean the comparison of
like as a black woman, is that a stupid comparison?
No.
Okay.
No. That's, I mean, in honesty, I feel like that's a legitimate comparison because you can't. Like I said before, you can't have all your options over here, but then you call somebody else stupid for thinking that this is an option
and you're born whatever you are, right?
Right. But I will say that whoever you are as an individual and as a person is going to be the defying factor that I guess gives you whoever you are on the inside. Your personality is what's going to determine who you mesh well with and who meshes well with you. I have more. I guess you could say I have more friends of the Caucasus Mountains than I do black friends. But I have a good mix of both. But
I want to visit these Caucasus Mountains.
You from them?
We want to go back to your home.
You from the most widest part. You come from
with all the shade.
You at them snow-covered mountains. That's exactly where
you are.
The
snow on the top of that mountain.
Getting hostile in here.
Well, I don't know. I think.
But I mean, honestly, would anybody take me seriously if I identified as a white woman? With all this melanin running through my veins, would somebody really take me seriously?
I mean, no.
I identify as a white woman with this kinky hair and this melanated skin, and
cause you dark.
I ain't like. My skin is beautiful. Don't get me wrong.
No, it's not a bad. I'm not saying that in a bad way.
No, I'm not a red bone.
Do you know what that is?
Has
that terminology gotten up there to the tops of the Caucasus Mountains?
What is this red thing that you said?
A light-skinned woman, a light-skinned black woman.
You sound like that lady that's quizzing people on their black knowledge.
That's what a red bone is.
Red.
Or you also might hear, and I think this is sometimes used as more derogatory, but high yellow is a term.
I have heard high yellow.
Is a more light skinned person, but they tend to be, they are black people.
But yeah, I just don't feel like anybody would take me seriously if I was just, I identify as a white woman.
Which is why we don't take Blossom serious.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
That's very
but
true.
Blossom cannot understand that's the case. Mm-hmm. Blossom can't understand. You don't look like a woman,
right? But I also feel like Blossom would be accepted a lot more if she were a lot more palatable.
Yeah, absolutely. Like if you were likable.
You're so aggressive. You're so disrespectful. You're so rude that, baby, I don't like you as an individual. So our doggone show ain't gonna like you as a black trans woman. I don't like you.
And this may be offensive to the trans community. I don't mean for it to be, but like
He does.
I don't know why, but as much as I've seen her, I don't really, in my heart of hearts, believe that Blossom is a trans woman.
Yeah.
Like,
you want to know what I believe? I thought this other day. I believe Blossom could be bought out.
Yeah.
I believe if someone had enough money and said, listen, I want you to detransition, they might even throw in it, you found Jesus, you detransition, she would go where that money is.
I think it's more about acclaim.
I think
money probably plays a part. But
I don't think it's just the money. I think you're right. I think it is a claim. But what I'm saying is I think if there was an incentive to do so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. There's something about her that makes me feel like this is a little disingenuous, and it's more about winning and being seen than it is actually about being trans. Now, I do believe that Blossom is gay. Like, obviously, I mean, I do believe that Blossom is a nut job. That could be true too. But here's this kind of brings me to another point with trans as an issue. So one of my biggest problems with the trans movement now is, I think it was in a large part was taking what was a documented psychological disorder that people had. We knew it was. It wasn't offensive. It was not an offensive concept. Gender dysphoria was a real thing that people really had and actually was treated medically, documentable. And then it made it a social thing that ended up becoming popular. And people jumped on it because they're like, oh, I can be accepted in this and if I am this. And essentially, I'm going to straight up say it's dehumanizing people who actually go through gender dysphoria.
Yeah.
It is extremely dehumanizing, which I believe people like Blair White actually have gender dysphoria, which I think she believes she has gender dysphoria, correct?
Yeah. Blair, that's why I mentioned both Blair and Buck before, because they both have been like, yeah, this is an issue.
And a lot of times the treatment for that is live as the gender that you...
Blossom went on some show. She went on a show and she ran down both Blair and Amala on that show and made fun of and Buck. Okay, because Amala had invited Blossom to come on her show with Buck. She lied. Blossom lied. Said that that she didn't know Buck was going to be there, and that it was sprung on her and all this kind of stuff. Which why doesn't matter, but it was. She was saying that she was going on there for another reason, and then when she got there, that he was there and all this kind of stuff. Well, Amala has the receipts. She pulls up the text thread where they have and was like, no, this was always the case, and this is where I sent the stuff in her responses. And so it clearly shows that she was a liar. But also, when they mentioned that episode of Amala's show, they were like talking about Buck being there, and the ones on there, the one that, especially like the one that you had asked from that clip earlier, if it was a actual, or if he was a more conservative dude, you say look like a dude. He's on there, and he said they're laughing, and they're like, "Didn't you make Buck Angel cry?" Well, no, Buck Angel cries because he's talking about dysphoria and how it has shaped him and how it's hard having actual dysphoria. And it's very genuine. You can tell that Buck is genuinely crying and like pouring out his heart. And they're sitting there just making fun of this person for this, all because they disagree with them. Yeah. Because they're really should be on the same side of things. Right. It just shows me exactly 2 points really there of what you're saying. Disingenuous, a liar, and really just about themselves being seen, which you can also see every time she'll be like, Google me, or look me up, or then she wants to promote the things that she's been in.
And when you do, she always got a raggedy wig on,
See that?
so it don't really.
That right there just adds to me thinking Blossom is not really a trans woman, not somebody who really feels like they're a woman,
right?
But somebody who's willing to go to extreme lengths to be seen and heard, and
because you ain't got no talent.
So Jack and
Let's get to the root
I
of it
went to college with a guy, and I don't know if you're cool with me telling you this, but Jack was a theater major in college.
I was.
Yeah, and so
You said it like it was a lie or something.
No. It's just,
like it was a bad thing.
It just wasn't my history to tell, so that's all.
I did theater,
and it was at the school was a Christian university, but the vast majority of the people that went there weren't, and especially in theater.
This was my undergrad,
and so I was a theater minor. I didn't finish that minor, but I was in a lot of the classes and stuff like that. And
what was your major?
Communications.
Okay.
Yeah.
He finished the one he was good at.
Yeah, I finished the one.
I'm just kidding.
No, I had to put classes ahead of the minor
we were
classes,
like reversed.
You had to prioritize.
Yeah. We were reversed actually.
Well, since we all sharing, I was a bio major, education minor. Okay, go ahead.
So, tail end of our college career, a guy comes in there. He's one of the few like male theater students, and whether or not he was a good actor, I'm not going to comment on.
I will not. I was his acting coach at one point. He had some very strange acting quirks that just took you out of the moment and could not deliver a line without anyway. Just that's not the point.
But he was in there with my wife because my wife was a theater major at the same school, and
it's so sweet.
Yeah, the most masculine person I've ever one of the most not masculine person I've ever met, most masculine person I've ever met. But
I was about to say that was a stretch,
but he was he was a bro.
He was
he was a bro. He was stereotypical dude. He would do stereotypical guy things. I know for
college dude things.
Yeah, I remember one time he knocked on some of the girls' windows and pulled his pants down and showed them his junk.
Flashed them.
And
he was known for trying to flash people, but he didn't have a whole lot to flash.
Well, why did you want everybody to know that?
I don't know. But he moved to New York to try to make it on Broadway, and then a few years after that, he decided he was going to become gender queer. There was no inclination, no evidence that he ever felt that way. He never said, call me by a different name or anything like that. I am absolutely convinced that he went to New York trying to make it on Broadway,
could not get
the role. So he decided, if I become gender queer, maybe this will help me get roles.
That's exactly what he did.
And he still, he had some surgery. He had some facial reconstruction surgery to make him look a little bit more feminine. He still looks like a man, but his features are just a little bit softer.
Straight.
He's still straight.
He's not trans,
but he does. He takes estrogen, so I think he's got like some breast.
He unfriended
tissue.
me a long time ago, so
I don't know if I'm still friended with him or not, but I was never close to him, but I knew him, and I think that this is a common thing, and we're expected to just believe that they are who they say they are simply because they say they are. And I have a hard time with that philosophy in life. If somebody tells me they're a doctor, I'm not going to believe they're a doctor just because they tell me they're a doctor.
Because you haven't lived it. You don't have the lived experience.
I don't have the lived experience of a doctor.
But that is true, though. You haven't gone through the work. You've not put in the work to be a doctor. Just like Blossom, and they can say what she wants to. She would always be a trans woman. She can never be a true woman, because she hasn't lived through going through puberty at 12 years old and getting her period and what that feels like every month. She hasn't gone through what it feels like to grow boobs or to have a child. And I know that all females can have.
It just took like 3 hours.
Well, yeah. But and I know not all women can have children, but there's also something in that as well that you will never be able.
Right.
That's not even a possibility for you.
Right.
Well, she never experienced that like being a woman and thinking your entire life that you might be able to have kids.
You're correct.
And then finding out that she's not able to.
I will go so far as to say that Blossom has never feared really about being attacked by men the same way that women have to do sometimes, because look at Blossom. She's built like a linebacker.
I'm scared of her.
Don't come find us, Blossom.
I'm a big dude. Like, she's
I think
big,
Blossom could take you.
dude.
Blossom could take him.
I think Blossom could take me too.
I know she could take me.
Listen, she had to catch me. I think I could outrun Blossom.
I would agree.
But I will say this, Blossom, don't come find us.
Well, she ain't know where we at.
We don't like you, but
we don't like you. We don't like you. Don't
when
go
she say
find
catch
us.
me outside.
But I will say, if Amala or if even Blair White wanted to come and be on our little podcast, we would welcome you.
Absolutely.
We would welcome to have that conversation. That would be a fun rabbit hole to go down.
Heck, I'd even welcome somebody who has the same ideology as Blossom if they came in it
and
respectfully.
Yeah.
Right.
Which Blossom does not have the mental capacity, the intellectual capacity to do.
Like, I mean, I know we make criticisms on the show. We our first show was criticizing Forrest Frank, and we criticize people who believe Halloween is evil and all that kind of stuff. But criticism is not disrespect.
Indeed.
And we've been a little harsher in this one, but that is simply because we're matching the harshness.
Yeah.
And we're not even really
matching
doing
energy.
That.
We're not
like,
as
we ain't even matching energy for real.
And the whole this episode is not about trans issues. This episode is about a jerk.
Yeah.
Like,
we don't necessarily have to agree with your trans issues or your trans ness. You do, as an adult, you do you. But don't be a jerk, anyone.
Right.
And, on that, I disagree with a lot of things that Blossom does bring up. Blossom says that they never transition children, but then I know it's like the 0.1%, but there's still some that are doing that. You can't say it's not happening when it is. And they
wait. She's saying that children never get transitioned?
Yeah.
That is
and
the dumbest
they
thing.
fact checked her and showed and showed that it was.
But weren't there laws passed, like specifically targeting children that were transitioning before their 18th birthday?
I haven't heard of this.
I don't know
if it did. Good.
I think there are laws in place.
Because why would that need to be a thing?
Correct.
If they weren't transitioning.
I think that there were laws passed, and I think that you are correct. I just don't know what I haven't done the homework into that part to be able to speak on it. But I know that, she tries to downplay a lot of those types of things, and I just disagree with her. But the main thing that I disagree with is her personality and her ideology of herself, that she thinks that she is better than everybody else. Mm-hmm. And she has to create labels to make herself better than everybody. When in reality, what she deals with is not, whether she deals with transmorphia or whatever.
Gender
dysphoria.
No, I think
she is narcissistic.
I think she's a clinical narcissist.
She is 100% has narcissism.
And I don't like throwing the word narcissist out.
And I don't.
Because people like to throw that word out and it means nothing. It's just, you've done things that I don't like. You're a narcissist. When I say narcissistic, I mean diagnosable narcissism, a psychological disorder. You have a mental health disorder. The actual problem. Because I know people that have that. And I think she has it.
So what are your last thoughts? Kind of, what do you think? What do you? Let's try to wrap this up however we can.
I think people just need to stop entertaining her.
I agree.
She can be an activist all she wants, but people like Pierce Morgan and all these other people just stop inviting her.
Yeah.
Can we start a cancel blossom?
I'm not about canceling. Like, no matter what. I guess
Until
technically
you get
I
your
am kind of
attitude
You are
saying
saying that.
However, I'm not saying like, hey, take away her social media and unfollow her. I'm just saying
I don't normally say that, but I do think that she's more harmful than she is good. And I think
from any side of the political spectrum.
any side.
Just because of
any
her
side of the
approach.
political spectrum.
Because of her approach. Not because of what she stands for.
Correct. And really more harmful to her own side than she is ours, because she has not yet made a good argument against anything against her. She ends up hurting her own people more than anything because people look at her as the example.
It's funny because the biggest thing she said, she attacks people's intellectual capacity,
And
yet
she's the one that
she
got
is
it.
probably the most moronic activist I've ever
She's
seen.
very shallow.
She doesn't have. She's
in
if
the
anybody
knowledge.
doesn't have the mental capacity, it's her.
Indeed.
But she uses these big words that she throws around that she found somewhere, and uses them over and over and over because that's all she has.
That's
Even
because
when
she's
they're
in,
not relevant.
She's in tune with like positive vibrations and stuff.
Yeah, it's not her. She's got to not low vibrations.
High vibrations.
She's got to have high ones.
Good.
Well, she's the only. That's because she's the only one that can reach them.
What?
That's the only cause. She's the only one that can reach them up there.
She might be making them because of her body size.
Probably.
That was a little too much.
With those little dance moves that she jumps when she gets
Booty clap. That's the booty clap.
Booty clap.
That's where those vibrations come from.
Please don't booty clap. The earthquake. Anyway, do you have any last thoughts?
I think we've said it all.
I think we have.
All right.
But as an actual black female, having someone who comes on and says, I'm a black trans woman, how does that make you feel that she's trying to relate herself to you in that way?
You don't compete where you don't compare, baby.
Ooh!
I'm just going to leave that right there.
Tell them that.
But the African American Melanated Foundation, we do not accept Blossom. She is no longer invited to the cookout.
The Black American Melanated Foundation.
Not you just kicked her out of the cookout too.
Your card has been revoked until you learn how to act.
Blossom,
and like we say, until you can act like you got some sense.
Blossom, you are
no
kicked
longer
out of
invited.
Blamf.
You are no longer invited.
Blamf.
Because, baby,
Blamf doesn't want you no more. Black American Melanated Foundation. I am a fan of this.
Well, I see she's been removed. I'm just as two spokesmen of the white of the Caucasus
of the Caucasus Mountains.
We do not
Mountain
want
tribe.
you either. Please try Asia. And I can tell you what, I could probably go in there and get Jill, and she'll tell you they don't want you over in Latin America either. Oh, well, thank you so much, Beverly, for being here.
I appreciate y'all offering to have me in your little hole.
In your burrow. We are physically in your burrow.
In the burrow. We are.
Quite cozy.
So we're going to have you back real soon.
Well, I appreciate y'all, my brethren.
My brethren. We know we love you. You can stay, but Buck,
I'm leaving.
Get out my burrow.
Down and down the rabbit hole.